Well, hello everyone, UFO Bob. Been a long time since I have streamed in this fashion. And I did a live stream here about 2 weeks ago, and there was a struggle. And today wasn't much different, a little bit different. I had planned to stream at around 11 o'clock a.m. California time. But as in the past, because I haven't streamed with the frequency I used to stream, I have forgotten a lot of the steps necessary to have the stream, properly set up so I can do the things that I want to do when I live stream. Like, for example, I was going to be live on the road, on the streets of Tustin. And, things got in the way and I didn't do it. I was disappointed, but I decided I was going to power through this eventually, and I was still going to stream today. After all, this is the new year. And, by the way, there are 2 people here in the chat. There's Scorpion. I'm doing fine, Scorpion. Thanks so much. And hey, Ramsey Silent. Smash the like button. Oh, it's better than smashing your thumb. That's right. So anyway, what I did was I found myself getting, to be honest, frustrated and upset because I was up against the clock. I had set this goal of 11 o'clock and I couldn't make it happen. And I finally realized what I had to do was just let it all fall to the floor and start over. I went and had lunch, had a nice conversation with an old friend of mine, a film editor, and a 2-hour conversation. It was pretty cool. Wish I could let you be in on it, but I can't. And then I decided, okay, now that I'm relaxed and I'm calm again, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to figure out how to get back online, which I did. Now, that doesn't mean that I have it all sorted out the way I want it to. Hey, graphics gear, number 3. Excellent. So, as the thumbnail suggests, excuse me, a little bit of heartburn from that chili from lunch today. Homemade, by the way. I want to get back in the saddle, get back in the swing of things, of streaming, of content creation, and so forth. And, there's been some reasons why I haven't done that. I'm having trouble with a few things. I don't know if you're familiar with the sciatic nerve, but I'm having trouble with that. And boy, when it kicks in, it's painful, and it makes it difficult for me to do much of anything but lay down and wait for the pain to go away. But I don't want to let that stop me. In fact, maybe part of my problem is that I'm not being physically active enough. I'm sitting around too much in my work. And from what I've read, that's one of the things that will contribute to a problem with the sciatic nerve. Basically is what you're doing, there's a compressed disc in your back that's causing it. I'm not a doctor, but I don't even play one on TV. All right. So anyways, there's that. And then I've been dealing with some dental work. That's always a lot of fun. Root canals, caps, and the like. And I'm still got, probably about 6 months or more of going to the dentist to have more of that stuff done. But, everybody goes through stuff. Life is not easy. Let's face it. Everyone has problems. Everyone has health issues. Everyone has financial issues. Everyone has family problems. Nobody is immune to problems in this life. What's important, at least in my opinion, is how you deal with it. It's your attitude and your point of view that makes or break whether or not you're going to be happy and content or not. And I have slowly but surely learned how to do it. The streams don't have to be technically perfect or at some exotic location. This is Graphic Gear speaking. Yes, you're absolutely graphic gear. What you're saying there in that comment is spot on, which is why I'm streaming from my office and streaming at the end of the day, which is not what I like to do, because there are two problems when I stream at the end of the day. Hey, Alas, good to see you. I live over the flight path for John Wayne Airport. The aircraft, whether they're coming from the east or the west, make their turn into the glide path directly over my house. And when they start flying in the afternoon, it's like every 2 minutes. So if you hear of a jet flying over, you're gonna know why. That's one reason. And afternoons, though, I love the light. And that's very important to me as a photographer. I love good composition and good light. It gets windy in the afternoons, so I don't like to do that. But I've got to learn not to, as Graphic Gear says, you know, not to get all hung up on the being perfect, that's one of my personal flaws. I'm a perfectionist. Now, that being said, there are a couple of things that I want to cover in today's stream to let you know what's going on. One thing that's kind of strange is that in the last year, the YouTube algorithm has changed. My viewership, starting about mid-February, has dropped 50%, and my income even lower. I don't understand why. What's different? Now, part of that I blame on myself because, you know, I haven't been producing content on a regular basis like I used to, and perhaps the quality of my content is not up to the standard that it should be to receive the kind of viewership I'm looking for. That being said, may I say thank you to all of you because, believe it or not, today I hit one of the goals. I hit 6,800 viewers subscribed to the channel. And my next goal is to hit 7,000. And I couldn't have done it without any of you. And hey, Brother Bruce, good to see you. All right. Brother Bruce is somebody I met through Take Two. Come on, brain, start working. Make the gears work. PhotoLukeHawaii. PhotoLukeHawaii is a show that I watch regularly now. And Brother Bruce is a mod on that channel. And, you know, since I'm talking about thank yous, I might as well just go ahead and cover those right now, okay? And I've made a list of names and notes so I don't overlook anything, hopefully, okay? Now, there are specific people I'm going to mention here, and then I can't mention everybody. There's too many of you now. But I do want you to know I do appreciate your viewership. First of all, let me thank my mods, okay? Katayama is one of my main mods, and Sage, Hello Hi A2On. They're also my mods. They also moderate for John Dobb on Only in Japan and Only in Japan Go. And you know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be set up the way I'm at. And frankly, Graphics Gear here is also somebody who's been a major influence on my show and getting it up and running, and I thank you as well. The next one I want to thank is, and I thanked her in the last stream I did, but that stream was specifically about her, but whereas this stream is a little wider. Hey, my friend Indy, long time no see. Good to see you, my friend. All right. So, anyways, okay. I forgot to turn on the light. I have a light up here, and I'm going to go turn it on. I was going, my face looks a little darker than I had when I was testing. So, Mr. Perfection's got to go turn on the light. Hang on. A little bit better, you know. Again, being a professional photographer, getting the lighting, the composition just right is really important to me. But I've got to learn to let go of that perfectionism. So normally I wouldn't stop and interrupt the stream to do that, because, it's pulling aside the curtain and letting you see the wizard behind, and he's just a regular guy like everybody else. Anyway, back to what really want to talk about. Brandania, who follows John Dobb and PhotoLukeHawaii, sent me a package about a month ago, and in that package was a ton of goodies. Now, here are two of them that I haven't eaten yet, okay? This is pineapple macadamia nut mini cookies, and I'm looking forward to eating these, but I don't want to put my body into sugar shock, so I have to take it easy. So I've got so much, because of the holidays, I've got so much goodies. I'm stocked for at least a month. Yeah, that's what people say I am, nuts. But that's another story. Okay, here's the other one. Coconut balls with macadamia nut bits. Can't wait to try them. So there's that. Another person is Michael Sassano. Michael also watches PhotoLukeHawaii, and he watches only in Japan. And again, he's been a major supporter. And another person is a fellow by the name of Simon. He lives in Belgium. He's English, and he has a show called Simon's Living Room, and it's actually Simon's no Ma no Cha, which is the Japanese. That's how you say Simon's Living Room, evidently. And then finally, John Dobb. Now, if you don't watch only in Japan, you're not going to know who John Dobb is. However, I highly encourage you to check the links below in the description box. You'll see links to Only in Japan, John's shows, to PhotoLuke, to Simon's Living Room. All these are, I think, enjoyable programs to watch. They're generally live stream, at least, well, John does both edited content and live streaming. And John, I particularly owe a great debt to, because he's been a mentor. He's the one that encouraged me to go into live streaming, and I've learned a lot about how to be a better content creator because of him. Now that we've got all the thanks out of the way, there's a couple other things here. Oh, yes. I have a question for you. Do any of you have New Year's resolutions? If you do, I'd like to see what they are in the chat, or if you're watching this after the live stream, put it in the comment section below. Let me know what your resolutions are, and I always respond to every comment that I get. I'm not that big of a YouTuber. I can do that right now. I hope the day comes. Well, let me rephrase it. I hope my channel grows, much larger, and it's very possible it'll get so big I can't do that. Oh, okay. I'm reading Ramsey's comment here about steadily producing content. Oh, okay. Ramsey says that YouTube is restricting people because they're not making enough content. So this is part of my resolution for the New Year's. Not for myself as much as is for the viewers, for you people out there, because it's because of you I get to do this. If I didn't have you subscribing and watching, there'd be no point. And I do care about all of you. And I'm trying to come up with, more interesting stuff. And I've said this before, this is kind of old hat. But I've got to make good on it. So that's it. So I'm checking my notes. I'm making notes. I've made notes about what I wanted to talk about today. Oh yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to wrap it up on this particular note. I'm in my 70s, and I've learned something very interesting. It's been gradually coming to the forefront of my thinking. And this is very interesting. When you look at an old person, and I'm not talking about me, even though I am an old person. First of all, I'm an old person with a young heart. And you know what I've discovered? Old people are young people on the inside. I feel the same on the inside as I did when I was in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, my 60s. I still have that same passion and desire for life. And you got to, I think well, thank you, Alas. I appreciate that comment. However old you are, you're still young because it's in here or in here. That's important, okay? Now, your health can definitely affect your point of view. If you have a chronic illness, or if you have some emotional pain that comes your way, someone in your family passes away or leaves you, that will change things. But you have to learn to say, okay, that's the way it is. I'm going to move on. I'm going to continue to be happy. Happiness is a frame of mind. And that's what really, the difference I think between happiness and contentment is, happiness is transitory. You can be happy one day and you're happy because you got a new whatever, right? And then the next day you get a letter from the IRS and boy, you're bummed out. Trick is not to let it get to you. And in fact, there's a film that I've referenced before called Lawrence of Arabia. And there's a great scene in there where Lawrence strikes a match and here's the match, and he comes over here and with his finger, he puts the match out. And one of his buddies says, oh, I can do that. So the buddy goes over and he goes, oh, damn, that hurts. What's the trick? And Lawrence says, the trick is not minding. And that's the whole key really about living life. You have to accept the better with the bitter, or the bitter with the better. And that will give you contentment, and you will be able to keep going. And and Scorpion, thank you, sir. And same with you, Ramsey. So let's see if I've missed anything. Oh, yes. This goes back to this theme about old people, okay? Oh, well, happy birthday 2 days in advance, Ramsey. Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel that way too. When you see somebody who's older than you, and really, when I think about it, it doesn't matter how old they are. When you see somebody who's having a rough time, or maybe have a personality that's abrasive, try to have some understanding for that person, some compassion, because you don't know that person's backstory. You don't know what happened to them that day, or maybe something they've been struggling with for maybe all their life. So just realize that the person on the outside is not necessarily exactly the same as that person on the inside, and especially old people. Yesterday on my way home from church, I saw this fellow sitting in a parking lot, covered up in blankets, sitting in a wheelchair. And it broke my heart. I actually feel sad and that I didn't stop and do something to help that guy, even if it was just a kind word. That person's life was a lot tougher than mine. I may have my aches and pains, but I'm still kicking. Oh, Ramsey, I will have coffee. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. So that's really it. Try and be a little kinder to other people, no matter how old they are. And I guess that's really about it. And If you got any recommendations of type of content you would like me to produce, then, leave them in a comment. I'll read them. If they're within my means of doing, then so be it. We'll do something like that. And I guess that covers it. Okay. I push the limits. Well, I've got to. You can't sit back and rest on your successes. This is one of the things why I admire John Dobb. He is always striving to improve his channel. He's always trying to find new and better content to produce and new and better ways to reach people. Because life is not static. The YouTube is not the same today as it was a year ago or 10 years ago or when it started. So if you don't learn to adapt and evolve your content or your person, your own personality, then you're going to wither and die. And I don't have that desire to wither and die, at least not yet. Maybe never. So with that in mind, I'll say goodbye. Thank you all again, and we'll see you multiple times this year. Until then, this is UFO Bob out. Thanks again, all. Bye-bye.